What is up, you guys? It's your boy Mike from Balls of Fury. Welcome back to the channel. We've got so much exciting stuff going on right now at Balls of Fury. We've got babies hatching inside the incubator. We've got baby snakes about to go through their first shedding process ever. I cannot wait to see those snakes come out of shed so we can get an idea of how beautiful and bright their colors actually are. Also, it is feeding day here at Balls of Fury, so we're going to take you guys through the collection, let you guys check out some of the animals feeding, and I'm also going to throw some tips at you guys that we implement here at Balls of Fury to keep our snakes eating consistently and make sure that they're doing well as far as feeding. For tip number one, if you guys notice behind me, it is dark outside, and in the next clip, we're going to touch on why we feed our snakes at nighttime. So you guys better stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss these tips, and you're not going to want to miss seeing these amazing animals feeding. Man, check out our boy Drake. He has been absolutely killing it since he arrived here at Balls of Fury. He's looking stunning. He just came out of shed, so it's definitely dinner time for this guy. But before we get into why we feed our snakes at nighttime, the first thing I would do if I were you guys and you have a snake that isn't eating is make sure that you check the snake's husbandry. Check the snake's temperature and humidity. Make sure that they are within the correct ranges. If they are not within the correct range, this could be the reason why your snake is not feeding. And if they are in the correct range, then you can rule this out as one of the reasons as to why they're not feeding. Now, the reason that we feed our animals at nighttime is because ball pythons are nocturnal animals. This means that they are active at nighttime. They will actively hunt at nighttime. So make sure you're observing your snake at nighttime. If you see them sitting under their hide with their head sticking out, this is usually a sign that your snake wants to eat. Now, let's just admire how awesome Drake is looking for the final few seconds of this video. He's just looking incredible. He's getting that good size onto him. He's been crushing down food, and we'll let him finish his meal in peace. This next tip is called pre-scenting the room. Now, what I'll do, guys, is I'll go and grab the rodents about 3 or 4 hours before I plan to offer them to my snakes. I'll let them sit in the same room as my snakes, let the scent get throughout the room for a few hours, and as you can see in the next clips, these guys are ready to go. They're alert, they're in feeding mode. It's game time, you guys. Now, this is something that we've had a lot of success with, and it is definitely a tip that I would implement into your collection if you're having trouble getting your snakes to feed. Now, if you guys feed live prey like we do here at Balls of Fury, make sure that you're always there to intervene if need be. I mean, look at the size of the teeth on some of these rodents, man. They could do some serious damage to your snakes. You want to make sure you're there to intervene if you need to. But look at this girl, Versace, just crushing down this meal. She's looking absolutely beautiful. She's getting some good size on her. I'm hoping to have her up to size to breed this upcoming year. I cannot wait to see the babies that this girl will produce in the future. But man, I hope she just keeps crushing food. She keeps doing her thing. She's looking absolutely amazing, guys. Really, really awesome to see your snakes eating. And that's why I'm giving you guys these tips, because I want everyone to have success with their snakes eating. I want to see your snakes growing and doing well so you guys can breed them like we are. Oh yeah, our girl Magic is absolutely crushing it, man. She's getting some good size onto her. I think she's definitely going to be up to size this year. But for this tip, you guys, I would recommend feeding your snake inside of their enclosure. I don't recommend taking your snake out of the enclosure and moving it into a separate feeding enclosure. The reason for this is because sometimes it can scare the snake. Also, it might get the snake out of feeding mode. It is actually a myth that your snake is going to associate you opening the cage with food every time. If you guys are doing daily maintenance, you're interacting with your snakes on a daily basis, they're not going to begin to associate you opening the cage with food every time. So feed your snakes right inside their enclosure. This girl is absolutely crushing it. I cannot wait to see this girl continue to grow. We'll let her eat in peace. Now, if you guys are offering your snakes frozen thawed prey, make sure that you thaw out the prey item completely and that it's nice and warm before you offer it to the snake. If you notice, there's holes lining the entire upper lip of this snake. Those are called heat-seeking pits, and these are what the snake will use to detect the body heat signature of the prey item. If the prey item is not warm enough, the snake won't be able to target in on the prey and won't be able to strike at it. So make sure that the prey item is nice and warm, and we'll show you guys an even more extreme example of this in the next clip. For this extreme example, this is our boy King, the clown ball python. And if you guys notice, he was born with abnormally small eyes and he actually developed cataracts as he continued to age. Now, he is completely blind. He does not use his eyesight whatsoever as one of his senses when it comes to hunting prey. He primarily is using those heat-seeking pits that we talked about and also his sense of smell. So that's why I really stress to you guys that it's important to make sure that you're offering your snake nice, warm food if you are offering frozen thawed prey. Now, this guy actually fathered that clutch that we just cut a few days ago. He fathered some amazing leopard clowns, which I'm really, really excited about. And some of them have started coming out of the eggs, guys, and we've determined that his eye issue is not actually genetic. The eyes on the babies that have come out have actually looked relatively normal. They look like normal-sized eyes. None have come out with no eyes, so I'm really excited to see the rest crawl out of those eggs. Oh yeah, check out our girl Gucci, the yellow belly dream skull. Now guys, this tip can really go either way, and it kind of comes down to just knowing your animal very well. If you guys notice, the coloration on this snake is relatively dull, and if you take a look at her eyes, you can see that they are kind of opaque. This is the beginning stages of shed. Now, normally, I do not offer my snakes food when they are in shed. Normally, snakes are very inactive when they are in shed. They also can't really see that well, and it can be kind of dangerous if you're offering them live prey. However, I know this snake very, very well, and she is a beast. So if I have an extra rodent, she will usually take it when she is in shed, no matter what. But if you guys are offering your snakes food when they are in shed, this could be the reason why they are not feeding. So I definitely recommend trying to avoid that, and it's best to leave your snake alone when it is going through that shedding process. Look at that boy Reaper doing his thing, taking down a meal. Man, he's looking like a stud. Now, this next tip I'll give to you guys is if you have a snake that is not taking rats, try switching up the prey item that you're offering. Sometimes if I have a snake that just won't take rats, I'll offer it a mouse, and usually this will do the trick and get them to start eating. Now, one thing I'll recommend, guys, is if it does take the mouse, keep the snake on mice for a few weeks. Let the snake build its confidence up with feeding, because sometimes it can just be a confidence issue with the snake. And I've noticed that if I've let my snakes eat mice for a few weeks in a row and I go and offer them a rat, normally they'll take it just based off of that confidence boost. But man, this guy is doing awesome. He's still locking up with that hypo female we've got. So I'm really hopeful she's going to drop some eggs. The last time we ultrasounded her, she was at 28 millimeters. So let's go. Look at that girl Lala doing her thing, getting nice and thick. Now guys, this tip is more so for if you're in the middle of the breeding season. Here at Balls of Fury, what we do is during the summer months, we'll kind of maintain feed our females, keep them on a nice lean diet. And then once we start the breeding season, we'll really start power feeding them. We'll offer these girls about 2 or 3 rats at a shot. And if they're taking them, that's a great sign. That increase in food can really, really stimulate follicle growth. Guys, the biggest tip I can give you is to think like a snake. If you're pairing up your snakes and you're breeding them and you're giving these females a surplus of food, that will kind of trick the female's brain into thinking, hey, there's a surplus of food here for me. Imagine the surplus of food there will be for my babies, and it will kind of promote her to produce follicles and to produce some beautiful babies for you down the road. But check out how amazing our dreamsicle is looking. This girl is putting some good size onto her. I don't know if she'll be quite ready to go for us this season. She's at about 700 grams, but she's been eating like a beast, man, and she's going to be about 2 years old in December. So we're going to keep an eye on this girl, see if she gets up to size, and if not, then we'll let her do her thing. We'll continue feeding her, growing her up, and we'll pair her up next year. But man, hope those tips help you guys out. They're definitely tips that I use here at Balls of Fury, and I want to see everybody have success. So definitely let me know if you guys use any of these tips. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If any of the feeding tips that I gave you guys helped you out, please drop a comment. Let me know. I would love to get some feedback. Also, drop a comment if you guys have any tips that I didn't mention or that you implement within your own collection. Definitely comment down below. I love learning from you guys out there, and I love hearing about your experiences with your own collections too. Also, guys, please go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button as well. I definitely will talk to you guys soon. I cannot wait to update you guys on that beautiful clown clutch that we just cut the other day. They're almost all out of the eggs, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Big shout out to the Recessive Gang, Darius, Dre, AJ. Keep doing your thing, you guys. I will talk to everyone out there soon. Peace.